Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday morning. Not so beautiful out here today, but that's okay. So today I want to talk about active resistance versus acceptance. And so now this has been an ongoing theme in my life, especially the last 2-3 years, I would say. And so what I mean by active resistance is our maybe inability to accept what is. We're rejecting a situation, an idea, a person. We're resisting our calling. We're resisting those little heart flutters. We are having a hard time just sinking in and being. So active resistance to me is when we are struggling, perhaps maybe not even necessarily knowingly resisting or rejecting situations, people, changes, fluctuations, relationships, whatever it might be, but we're having a hard time with them. So we're struggling, and usually I find with myself, the struggle usually comes in when it's not what I want. So I have a hard time accepting certain things when it's not something that I want, or it's not how I wanted it to be. So that's when I find that I struggle. So, for example, say you have a relationship with somebody, whether it is a sibling or a coworker or somebody in your sort of near proximity, and the relationship, you have an idea of what the relationship could be. You have a feeling of what the potential is, but that relationship is not that way. And you may put effort into cultivating that relationship to become the way that you see it ideally, but it just isn't so. And maybe the other person isn't reciprocating the effort. Maybe the other person is putting an effort in a similar way for themselves. They see the relationship being a certain way, and they're putting in their efforts and they're trying to develop it into the version of the relationship that they want it to be. But that's a different version of a relationship, perhaps, than what you would like it to be. So they feel like they're putting in effort, you feel like you're putting in effort, and it's still just not the relationship you want it to be. And you struggle. You're like, but it could be so good. It could be this, it could be that. I'm trying to make it work, and it's just not happening. Are you accepting that relationship for what it is right now? Or are you rejecting that relationship and saying, no, it could be this, it could be that. I want it to be this, I want it to be that, rather than acknowledging it for what it is right now. So that's just one example. There's I probably can think of 5 or 6 experiences, situations, relationships in my life right now that I feel this way about. So then on the other side of that active rejection is acceptance. So something that every once in a while I have this aha moment, this click of, well, it would be less struggle if I just accepted it for what it is right now. I have a tendency when I want something to be a certain way, I reject that it isn't that way, and my brain goes to permanence. Well, if it's not developing into what I want it to be, or what I feel like it could be, the potential that it holds, then it's never going to. So I need to actively pursue this and push and develop it myself. And otherwise, it's going to be this way forever. And that's just not true. I have to remind myself that the way something is now is not the way it will be forever. So accepting something the way that it is even if it's not exactly how I imagine it being when it's at its best, or a better version of it, or what have you, when it's not exactly how I want it to be, or I feel like it could be more positive, whatever, however you want to spin it, whatever, process is happening for you, then it's going to remain this way always. And that is just not true. So reminding myself of the impermanence of situations, relationships, experiences. Nothing remains the same for long. Everything is continuously evolving, especially when it involves another human, because other people are continuously evolving and changing and developing and having their own experiences and bringing different things to the table just as we are. It's just not the same experiences. It's different experiences. It's their own version of life and their own interpretations and their own things that they're bringing forward into the relationship or the situation. So I just wanted to touch today on that active rejection, which is a challenging and ongoing process, as well as the flip side of the acceptance of what is currently, and a reminder of the impermanence of everything, which is something I have to very much remind myself of regularly if I'm struggling with something, especially with relationships. I often can see the relation, if it's a struggling relationship, I can often see how it could be better, or how I feel like it could be better, and I can see a path that may get us there. And so when that path is not really happening, I have a hard time accepting that I just need to maybe step back and allow it to be what it is right now, and remember that it won't be this way for eternity. It is going to shift and evolve and grow and adjust and change and develop just as we all are. So that's my little blurb for the day. That's what I wanted to chat about. If you have any thoughts, I would love to hear them. Please share with me your take on that.